Some of you may remember from probably a couple weeks ago, I did a video on this contraption of a computer here. The sketchy power supply, the GT1030, all that crap. So I'm going to redo some of those tests because I'm trying a couple different games, and I also have a capture card now. Look at that, I have a capture card. So I can actually do some proper recording now. So I'm going to redo some of these tests and do a proper, screen recording via capture card so it doesn't affect the performance at all. And then, yeah, just wanted to remake the video now that I have an actual capture card, and I'm going to try a couple different games this time. So, without further ado, let's get into it, shall we?
Okay, so first game I'm gonna try is Roblox. This is what I believe the game is called Forklift Simulator, if I remember correctly. Um, Currently, I have the music muted because it's probably copyright. But graphics, we're gonna crank that up to the max, and we're just gonna give her. I think it's gonna run perfectly. Yeah, it's running perfectly fine. I'm gonna try two different Roblox games because Roblox games are very subjected to, change because certain games are more intensive than others. I mean, this game, as you can see, this game is pretty easy to run. I mean, it's running perfectly fine. I mean, it's butter smooth. It's highest graphics. Really, not much else to show here. But I'm gonna try one more game on Roblox, and then we're gonna move on to another game. But so far, capture card's working good. Well, I shouldn't jinx myself, but it's definitely looking a lot better. So let's try another Roblox game, shall we? Alright, so next up we have a game called Body Cam. I haven't played this game. I've seen a bunch of TikToks on it. It looks pretty graphically intensive, and oh boy, is it ever graphically intensive, as you can tell. Uh, it's not, it's not running too good. So before I get copyright, because my luck it's probably copyright, I'm gonna turn that. Oh wait, I can just turn that off. All right. Um, yeah, this is definitely a bit more intensive than Forklift Simulator, as you can tell. It looks quite a bit better. It runs quite a bit worse. this this poor GT 1030 is really getting a workout here. Um, yeah, so let's go ahead and check Task Manager real quick. Yeah, GPU maxed right the hell out. VRAM maxed right the hell out. CPU, it's fine. I bet you it's probably just Windows Update. Yeah, Windows Update. And RAM, that's still got some there. This is only 8 gigs, by the way. Forgot to go over the specs. So, specs real quick. Third generation i5 at 3.1 gigahertz with a turbo up to, I think it's 3.4 or 3.5. 128 gigabyte SSD, and then the GT1030. And, well, the GT1030 is really not running very well. Um, yeah, this is the thing with Roblox is, as I just said before, and as you can see here, each game's going to run differently. Each game has its own requirements. Each game, all that stuff. So, as you can tell, this game is a lot more intensive than Forklift Simulator. So, if we turn down the graphics to say about medium, it runs quite a bit better, but also looks a decent bit worse. So that's definitely something to keep in mind if you want to play Roblox on like a low-end computer nowadays. But even on low, it doesn't look the worst, but it doesn't look very good. So that being said, let's move on from here and let's play maybe some Farming Simulator. Before I start playing, the next game, I just wanted to show you something here with the older Intel processors and well any processor in general. As you can see, the CPU is pretty much maxed out at 91%. Now the SSD is well now maxed out, but as you can see before the SSD was maxed out, the CPU was getting spikes of up to 100. Now, the thing with downloading Steam games and certain games in general, or just extracting folders and all that stuff in general, that takes a decent bit of CPU power. So if you have an older CPU, such as the third gen i5 or AMD equivalent or something around this age, maybe a generation newer or two or anything before this. If you're running Steam games, or I think Epic Games is the same thing, but all that aside, your CPU is going to struggle if you have faster internet like I do. I get around 300 to 400 download megabits, so with that kind of speed, your CPU is definitely going to struggle a little bit trying to decompress, extract, all that stuff, all the game files. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Now, as you can see, if you don't have a fast SSD or if you have a hard drive, God bless you, um, this is what's going to happen. You're going to have 100%, and then your CPU is not going to be doing much. Your network isn't going to be doing much. You have a fast SSD with a fast CPU and fast internet, then you'll be good. But I just wanted to point that out before I forgot. So now let's move on to the next game. Okay, so it seems as if my FPS counter has finally decided to work, so that's a plus. So here we are on the grid map 2.0 map, the second version of the grid map. As you can see, we're running everything basically at normal, which is basically medium. And then we have all this advanced stuff turned off because, let's turn these off. They don't really do much anyway. Actually, helped a little bit. But, turn all this stuff off, motion blur off, dynamic reflection off, detailed mirrors off, and everything else is basically at medium. So the reason why I'm not doing a bigger map is because only having 8 gigs of RAM is, well, technically below the minimum requirements for this game. This game recommends at least 16 gigs of RAM, so running 8 is definitely pushing it. So with that being said, wait, they have a reverse beeper now in the game? I didn't know that. Wow, didn't know we can do that on a pickup, but alright. Anyways, as you can see, it is running perfectly fine, around 50-ish FPS, high 40s, mid 40s, 50s, yeah, it's running pretty good. So if you want to play on the grid map and you have a computer like this, I mean, it works perfectly fine. I mean, just do keep in mind with the limited amount of RAM, you will be limited to what maps you can use, how many vehicles you can use at a time, and all that stuff. But for one, probably 2 vehicles on a simple map like this, I mean, it's running perfectly fine. So, with that being said, let's move on to Farming Simulator, shall we? Specifically, 2019. I'm going to skip 2017 because if it can run 2019, it can run 2017. Alright, so here we have Farming Simulator 19. We are running at the medium graphical preset. I have not touched anything. This is just the medium preset, because if I did, it would show custom, but I'm just going to leave it at the regular medium preset. So what that does is that puts multi-sampling, anti-aliasing off, shadow quality, light quality, medium, 100% draw distance, 100% terrain distance, and 0 mirrors, which seems odd for medium, but alright. Bilinear, texture filtering, low shadow map, high terrain quality, 100% on foliage draw distance, 150 on tessellation volume. I have no idea what that means. Realistic beacons are off. This doesn't make a huge performance difference, honestly. Texture resolution is at low. I could probably bump that up to medium, but I'm just going to leave it. Maximum shadow lights 1. Shaders medium, LOD distance, no idea what that means. Maximum tire tracks 100. So that being said, let's get into a actual game now. Now, Farming Simulator in the sense of performance is similar to BeamNG Drive for one reason. It all depends on the map size, how many vehicles you have, and all that stuff. So this is a relatively big save game, like a lot of vehicles, a lot of stuff going on here. This was one of my main save games that I actually used to play a lot once, when Farming Simulator 19 was relevant. Now that 22 is out, I don't really see that many multiplayer games going on very often, but this is one of my save games I use for multiplayer. So there's a lot of vehicles, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of, stuff that could be going on at once too. So just think, if you have a couple more players in this area, you'd be looking at around 30s to 40s for the FPS. Now, obviously, the new saves with less vehicles would probably be getting 60 frames, or at least close to 60 all the time. Now, it does appear like we have, I don't know. I can't actually see my FPS counter really on the actual monitor because it cuts off. So I have to look at my laptop, which I'm using with the capture card to record. So, huh. Oh, there we go. We're looking at about, yeah, GPU bottleneck right there. 100% on GPU. Looking at about 40 frames here. You look up, oh, it's going to go up to 60. Well, what a surprise, right? But, certain areas, it will change. As you can see, it varies depending on the area. Like I said before, this obviously will also vary depending on your save game. So with that being said, I'm going to maybe try one more game. Probably not. I'm probably just going to leave it here because I don't really want to make a long video. So with that being said, I will probably do my final verdict, I guess, next. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I'm not doing another game. I don't have any more installed on here besides Farming Simulator 17, but it's no real point in testing that. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. That was the first time of me using a capture card, so hopefully everything looks good. My settings are dialed in. Um, with, some more time goes on, I'll probably tweak some of the settings and I don't know. I mean, I think it looks alright for now, but if you enjoyed it, be sure to like the video, comment, subscribe if you'd be so generous. Generous. If you have any ideas for another video, suggestions, or just, you want to share your thoughts with me about anything or whatever, drop a comment. And without rambling on for much longer, I will end the video and hopefully see you in the next one.